Ulejváci, starí ulejváci, máme pít vodu. Vodu nepijem, my pijeme rum. Vodu pijou žáby, pivo starý báby, my pijeme rum. Vodu pijou žáby, pivo starý báby, my pijeme rum.
Now you just heard the real taste of Czech rural area. Coincidentally, it's kind of a sound of actually the village I was born in. The village is called Stoklasná Lhota. It has like 100 inhabitants or something like that, okay? And now maybe you are wondering why he's wearing this, and I will tell you why I'm wearing this. I'm wearing this because this is actually a uniform of volunteer firefighters, all right? And it's for special occasions, such as a funeral or something like that, yeah? And so, to be honest, it's very important for you to understand that the volunteer firefighters are basically the main drivers of culture in the small cities all around the Czech Republic, yeah? But I kind of like got lost myself because I was supposed to explain you the open mic and how it's gonna work, so now I'm going to do it, yeah? And also coincidentally, I'm sorry, I'm very confused man and person. I'm also going to be the first one who will make the first contribution to our open mic, yeah? So open mic, anyway, sorry. So, Culture Get Together is a conference that is happening almost every year, yeah? And on the end of it, we all the time have the open mic, which is a place for not very formal contribution to our conference and so on. So this is going to happen, yeah? And it works like this. We will have around 5 people. Also, you can join you. Any of you can raise a hand and come on the stage and start saying something or jumping or dancing or whatever, yeah? And so, yeah. It will take 5 minutes for every person, yeah? And they will hear a sound, and this means that the contributor should slowly finish. Okay, it's not like a clear cut, fuck off, or something like this, no, yeah? Slowly leave, find your end, and so on. So that's it. This works, wonderful. So, I'm the first contributor, so we will try it. We have a rule that once I will touch the microphone, the 5 minutes will start, the countdown will start, yeah? So I'm starting right now. So get back to the uniform, yeah? So I was growing up in this village. There were 100 people, not more. And all of the cultural life in these villages was driven by these volunteer firefighters. They took care of the common spaces. They organized kids' days, women's days. Sometimes we even had a theater, yeah? And also, every single event that happened in our village was fueled by hectoliters of alcohol. It was a beer, it was a slivovice, lots of alcohol. That was the main condition for something to happen, you know? People had to kind of drop their, I don't know, maybe they were scared or something scared to talk and so on. So alcohol was very important. Me, myself, I started drinking when I was 11 years old. I'm not lying, actually, yeah? And, but I had no choice because actually I'm ginger and it was very problematic for me. I couldn't be any more different. I was ginger already, it was very problematic, so I was also drinking, like the rest of us. And so, but it was up until very important moment in the city close to my village. There was a performance which was called Evžen Onegin. It was done by Theater Petra Bezruče from Ostrava. And up until that moment, up until this moment of the theater, I gave 0 fucks about theater or acting or anything. But that performance, it was kind of alternative, all right? And it kind of opened my eyes. I never saw anything like it. And once I saw it, it changed the game completely. So I was 14, I stopped drinking alcohol, and I started pursuing my acting career. And here I am. I finished the theater academy. I am a successful alternative poor artist from Prague. And what I love to do most is to actually coming back to the rural areas where I grew up, okay? And bringing back the art. And I feel like it's super important. But I had this one experience. I was doing the performance. I was naked on the stage. I was probably also touching my colleagues. I was staring at the audience a lot. Everybody was confused. I wasn't saying anything, and sometimes I was saying, sometimes not. They were confused, right? And I asked one of the men who was in the audience, and I asked them, did you get it? Did you get the performance? And he was like, nah, I didn't get it at all. And I was like, okay. And then he started to continue talking. And he was talking about emotions, about the feelings he had during the performance. He was talking about that it's very interesting to look at a naked man for such a long time without the sexual context. And he was like talking, and he was having this like monologue, all right? And I was like, this is very interesting. And the rest of the audience were also listening to him because all of us were there and we were there together and we talked. And he was talking and the monologue was happening. It was like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes or something. And he was still talking about his emotions and so on. And slowly we started to be like silent. We were like looking at him. And then he closed the monologue and he said, nah, so I don't get it. And that was actually amazing. And I realized that everything is about context, that like you really need to even have to feel the permission to maybe even to feel the thing. Like you don't have to understand in like the regular normal sense. You need some kind of guidance, yeah? So when I go to the rural areas, not only to the rural areas, even like to places such as Brno or Prague, that's for discussion, but anyway. So I'm going to those places and I always trying to give audience some kind of like guidance, you know? To give them something to digest. Like Italians, they are using the soda bicarbonate, you know? They eat a lot, so then they need it. So something like that for them, to give them some guidance to the audiences. And I'm not sure if it's working or if it's not working, but sometimes it's very interesting. So he felt like he didn't get it, but he get it at the same time. But he didn't know that the things that were happening and he was feeling during the show were actually the thing, that was the thing. You know what I mean? It's confusing again, right? But it's all right, because this whole rest of the evening will be really confusing. Anyway, so that's, yeah, and now I'm thinking, like, how can I go back to Stoklaska, which we call Stoklasná Lhota, Stoklaska, and how am I supposed to go back to this village and kind of show them my art without kind of like them feeling patronized or something, you know? How can I show it? Like, what kind of guidance should I give them in order to make it? For example, Markéta Malková, as you saw her, witness her here, she is like amazing example because she is from very small village here in Czech Republic, and the people in the village, they actually believe her, you know, because he's the Markéta from the village. So I'm probably also supposed to become Markéta. Now the timing is gone, and we hear the song. That means that my contribution is finished. And now we will continue and we will move on. Yeah, that was my, I would expect you to clap or something. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. So that's how it works. I forget about the clap, please, after the 5 minutes are gone. Now I'm going to leave the stage. I will leave here my amazing colleague, Marie Kišlovský. She is our music for this night, okay? And now I would ask Yasmin Heyer to come on the stage. Yasmin co-leads the Circus Association Acrosphere and the new Circus Center in Graz. She performs internationally with the Contact and as a duo, blending partner acrobatics, trapeze, and live music. She focuses on community building, activism, and inclusivity in performing arts. Please come to the stage. Another applause, please. And I'm leaving, and it's not going to be confusing anymore, yeah?
Okay, hello. Sorry. I was just finishing the dossier, and then I got Swallow first. Then I got 3 calls for the upcoming tour, so I couldn't eat my banana before, but I expect you know the situation. Yeah, sorry, so rude. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Yasmin. What do I do? I'm a circus artist, and this is not my usual way of interacting on a stage. I usually do it more non-verbally with my body in weird positions. So this is an experiment for me as well. I come from Graz, as they said. Graz is in Austria. don't worry, I didn't know the place before I moved there either, even though it's a substantially quite second biggest city in Austria, actually. And as I find myself again here in a situation which I don't regularly do, this is something performers often encounter. Suddenly you're put into having to juggle different roles at the same time. And this is what I encountered when I came to Graz. There was no place for training for circus arts, for anything of this. And we didn't wait until this just fell from the sky. We decided, if there's nothing, we will create something. And now, 10 years later, we're opening our first circus center in Graz, a space that will be open 24/7 for circus arts, for performances. Super, super happy to do that. I think I might need some help. Maybe somebody, yeah, maybe.
Should I leave now?
No.
No?
You can stay,
Good.
stay. Maybe the banana?
Okay.
Perfect. Nice. Oh yeah, feeling a bit more light as well. And something similar also happened with rural touring. So we started touring in Europe with our company Contact, a circus collective of 6 acrobats and a musician, a live music, and people flying through the air. And we also engaged in the program with Take Art in the UK, the Circus Round and About 2 program. We enjoyed it so much, so we decided we needed something like this in Austria. And again, there was nothing like this in Austria. So we said, okay, so we will apply for fundings and we will make it ourselves and make this happen. Maybe somebody else could help liberate me a little more. Oh, yeah. So many volunteers.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Have an apple. Thank you. Yeah, so we got some government funding and started looking for local promoters in rural areas. And we suddenly found out that there are a lot of artists, there are a lot of people trying to do these things on very small scales, a lot of people knowing just somebody and taking art to the rural areas, but all very scattered, all very underground. Nobody is really properly interconnected. Maybe I need another 2 people.
Volunteers, please. Come on.
Sylvia, I think you know the stage.
Exactly.
And who was it? Julia, no? Yeah. You look like... Was it Julia? I'm sorry. Names, yeah.
But no circus, because this is not the right equipment.
Okay, then maybe you take the microphone. I will do a handstand, and you can hold it.
Okay. Hands, legs. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, great. And now the microphone.
Maybe a bit closer? Yeah? Can you hear me? Perfect. I can see you, I can hear you. So we managed to find 7 different promoters in rural areas in Austria, in 3 different counties, and were able to tour around different rural parts. We went to different farms. We performed on the fields, in a barn. We performed in front of a beautiful museum full of nonsense. It's actually full of nonsense. It's great. And even went to a queer feminist collective that have built up a queer feminist space in the middle of nowhere. It was actually, in the end, I think we learnt more than we had expected, or it wasn't us bringing culture there, but actually us learning about these rural areas and, what we can find when we just go out there. Thanks.
Amazing. There is your notebook, because you also need to do your social media. You probably also need to write a grant. Yeah, so take all of it. Yeah, amazing. Maybe there is even more stuff. I can give you some water, of course. Amazing. Everybody can leave. Thank you for your contribution. It was amazing. So again, it was Jasmin Heer from Austria. Thank you for your first contribution. For the first real contribution of the night. And now I'm not going to add more time to our night, and I would like to ask Jan Žurek to come on the stage. Jan is over 15 years. He has experience in independent theater, public administration, and cultural strategies. Move. He served as an artistic director of Divadlo na Cucky, director of DV7 and regional council, jak se to říká? Counselor for Culture in Olomouc. He is active in expert committees of Ministry of Culture and currently works as a consultant, lecturer, and external teacher at Palacký University.
Thank you, Mr. Fireman, and I have to apologize because I'm a politician man, so there will be no humor now. I would like to reflect some situations that repeat in our country, and I will start here in Prague. In last years, there was quite interesting debate about some generation gap or generation exchange in culture management. There is few people that were sitting maybe too long on the same seats, and they didn't want to leave these seats, although they are super important for the independent scene. I mean, mostly theater and dance. They did a lot of development of performing arts in our country, but there was time to leave, and it was not happening. And I would like to mirror this situation with something that I can see somehow in regions also. So I will move to the rural areas now. There was an option for me for 4 years to travel in Olomouc region. I was in all the corners of the region, in all culture places, because as the counselor responsible for culture and cultural heritage, I was invited everywhere. And I found something that was repeating. I have to say something from history. After 1989, after the revolution, the villages and the cities became the owners of the culture, heritage, protected buildings. A lot of houses that were empty, and like monasteries, churches, etc. And you can imagine that for a mayor of a small village who is owning some cultural heritage that is protected, and he doesn't have any proposal how to use these buildings. It's a very hard situation. On the other hand, it means big investments, and if you don't have strong idea, it's very problematic. And when appears someone who helps you with this, it's like appearance of an angel. I mean, individuals or NGOs that started to help with running these places. And I saw many examples of places in Olomouc region where someone was doing a great job and filling by culture, the culture heritage places. But in some moment, it can become a problem. If you do the same job for 10 or 15 years, the dynamics are different. Some people change from the active actors to the gatekeepers, and there appear problems. And I was very inspired by some ideas that Mr. Matarazzo said today about the loneliness in which appears not only the culture agents in these places, but also the mayors. And I think it's something that says something to us about the relationship between the center and the periphery. I think it says something about the responsibility of the people who are networked, who have the sources, human sources, financial sources, to help these places go on, because there are people who help to take care about the cultural heritage, but they become the cultural heritage, and you really don't want to become a stone. Thank you.
So amazing, thank you for this contribution. It's very important to know where to live. I know when to live, so I would love to invite Bazo. Bazo moved from Ulaanbaatar from Mongolia to Plzeň 5 years ago. In Mongolia, he organized film festivals and hosted culture events, and in Czechia, he aims to build connections between Czech and Mongolian culture. He organized the Mongolian Film Festival and continues to engage with the Czech culture scene. So applause for Bazo. And I hope that we will have another beautiful accent to be added to the accents of this event, because the English is amazing all the time. Okay, yeah, I can do. Yeah, of course. The microphone. Should I hold it the whole time? Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, the microphone. I need that microphone.
You need this?
Yeah.
No. With the stand? Yeah. And now?
It will be my guitar stand.
Oh fuck. Yes, let's do this. And now the microphone, another microphone.
Yep.
Yeah?
Right here, yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Scheiße, I'm so useful.
Can you hear this? Thank you. Thank you for volunteer firefighter Yuji. Bringing the sound of guitar into your ear. And this is the story about Mongolian poet who lived in 1980s and who was the only poet lived in the countryside. And he lived in the countryside for his whole life. And he was writing a poem just for himself. And he died in the countryside. And he's the only poet who died in the countryside. Because all the poets died in the city, yet they were writing about the countryside. And time to time I think about this poet because he went to the city only once a year to party, to buy books, and also to read poems with his friends. And now you're in the train, and you're in the train cabin with this poet. And you recognize him because you read poetry. And you know that he came back from the city. You know that in his bag there's full of books. And you know that he is smelling an alcohol. And he's sleeping so tight. After all this partying, all this drinking, and all this reading poetry, and now he's going back to the countryside to write the most beautiful poems that you're going to read this year, this autumn, because his poems will be published in Czechia for the first time. It is translated by my wife, who's Czech, whom I married for 10 years Why I married her? Because she was only Mongolian speaker from Czechia. And you know what I thought? I'm gonna marry this woman. 10 years later, we're gonna live in Pilsen. Just like that poet, no glory, no party. And her Mongolian will be great, and she will translate my favorite poet one day. And that poetry book will be published this year. And I hope everybody will buy that magazine. It's called Tvar. And now I want you to sing with me, sing the lullaby of Tanzangin Nimsurum. He is in the train. What you can do for him? Nothing. He doesn't need money. Can you give him vodka he drank a lot of? Do you want to kiss him? He had enough kisses in the Ulaanbaatar. He's sleeping, just leave him alone. But sing this lullaby with me. Sing with me. Beautiful. It means from the beautiful countryside. Louder. Ten years ago, I was really tired. I was walking in the street. I was really cold. It's Mongolian cold. You don't know how cold it is. And I told myself, God damn, I'm so tired. What should I do? And it was snowing. I see some snows melting from the top of the apartment. I said, I'm so tired. I'm going to wash my head. I'm going to wash my face with the snow water. And I reached out onto the street. I washed my face. I felt rejuvenated. I felt like myself. Then I realized the one line that poet wrote. He said, I will be snow when I die. I will be snow, and tired people will drink from that water and they will be rejuvenated. And once I washed my face, this line of poetry came to my head. And I cried in joy because I knew that poet was alive inside me. And now you are alive with this poet. You just sang a lullaby with him. I want you to know that you have that power to make him sleep. I want you to live with this poet inside you. You are the winner. Forget about the prize. Forget about the money. If you choose art, you are winner. You won life. And remember, when you get tired, wash your face with the water of snow. And remember, in autumn, please buy that magazine and read that poetry book. Thank you so much.
So that was Bazo from Ulaanbaatar. And now we are getting into the middle of the open mic. Before we will move on, I would love to ask you, is there anybody who would love to contribute to this informal format? Is there anybody who would love to do it? Okay, so there is a lady, and I would love to ask you to stand up and let's do it. You see? Amazing musicians in Czech Republic. Yeah, so tell me your name.
Buga.
Buga. It's Buga.
I was like, I'm gonna prepare after everyone and then I'm gonna come. Okay, I'm gonna take this. Is that okay if I take this? I'm an ADHD, so I can't stand still.
Okay, I have the same problem actually.
Well, then you understand. I actually want to tell you the story of Luca. I'm gonna try not to cry, but I'm a crier, because that's actually, I thought, you know, I thought maybe I can be in the open mic and then what I'm gonna talk about and like rural touring. I do rural touring, but still. And then we were talking about all of this and I was like, maybe you can help me. I'm gonna tell you the story of Luca and then maybe you can help me how I can write that to my Ministry of Culture and get funding for this. It was COVID. And before COVID started, I do performances for babies. And every weekend, we have like a lot of shows. Every weekend we do another one. And there was Luca, who would come before COVID to our theater. And he was on every show. Every weekend I knew Luca would come. And I was like, you're here again, you watched the show already? Yeah, I'm learning it by heart. I was like, okay. I mean, he was 5 years old. I was like, okay. You do you. And then COVID came, and I did online performances, which I hated. And I know this is not a story of rural touring because we were in the city, but basically in COVID, it's like we were all in our micro islands. So let's pretend that it has something to do with it. Anyways, and then I got an email, I think, or a message, it doesn't matter, and a video. And Luca, he created my show. I saw my scenography made out of shoe boxes. And he performed in his kindergarten, where I wasn't allowed. I couldn't go there. I wanted to. I fought for it. I wanted to go to the children because you can't do it with a camera, and I wasn't allowed. But Luca was allowed. And he did the show. It lasted double what it usually lasts because he invented the whole thing. And like it started, I was like, he knows the thing. And it started the way I do it, and then it just was something else, and it was better. And I thought, you know, because at one point I performed for like one child. And when I go into smaller spaces, it's like sometimes it's 5 kids or 10, and sometimes you think, oh God, I traveled all this way for 10 kids. Like, and then I remember Luca, and he's just one kid who changed the world. And to all of his kindergarten friends, he brought theater when I couldn't. And then I know that even if it's just one person, one baby, one child, that it can change a whole universe. And that was very big for me. And so whenever I write my applications, I'm like, can I just write the story of Luca? And like, so you understand what we're doing, so I don't have to bring in numbers and how I'm gonna change the world, because I have Luca and he's gonna do that. So it doesn't have a number, just one, but it's all of the numbers inside. So I think when we think about all of these logistics and what are we gonna do? Sometimes it's hard. For me, it's hard. I tour a lot, I work a lot, and sometimes it's just another show. But I hope that sometimes we remember Luca, and that we remember that we are all Luca. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. I forgot to tell you that we had just one slot, so it's done. Now we are in the middle, and Nitish Jain should come join me on the stage, and we have logistical stuff. So you are plugging your phone to the notebook jack. You are giving me your box, and we will distribute your envelopes. Wait for the sound man to cue us. We can change the jack. Amazing. I would love to ask you to distribute these letters, please. And I just want to add to your book, because actually theater and the people from the Divadlo Petra Bezruče from Ostrava, they have no idea that they helped me to stop drinking when I was 14 years old. You know, I'm the living proof of it. This is happening. Like, really, I stopped because of them, because I started pursuing the acting career, you know? And here I stand. I don't drink, really. Yeah, so... Yeah. That's also very interesting. Yeah, because I know that the Petr Bezruč, they are heavy drinkers. Anyway, so once we are ready with the mic... So once you have the letters, please, and don't open them, right? You are opening them, right? Don't open them, yeah? That's like, yeah, you can begin. I am leaving. So, and I will also tell you who you are, because you are Nitish Jain. Yes. Nitish, you were born in India, yes. You are based in Czechia, and you create immersive performances combining object, spaces, storytelling, and sensory experiences. Is that enough?
Yes.
So can I leave?
Yes, thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah. Hi, thank you so much. So my name is Nitish. I'm from India, and I've been living in Czech Republic for the last 10 years. I use performance art to make sensory experiences. And I would like to invite us all today here to take a pause and to slow down a little bit and use our imagination. So for this, you have these envelopes that I have passed around. And I would request everyone to just take a seat and keep your hands empty, just maybe with the envelope in it, and then we will begin. And I will guide you through this imagination practice. I will just play the sound. So if you look at the bird that's drawn on the envelope, this bird is called the Clamator jacobinus, or the Jacobin cuckoo. This bird is native to Africa and India, but the name Jacobin has nothing to do with either of these places. The name actually comes from European Orientalism of the 18th century, and they called it the Jacobin because of its black and white color, which resembled the black and white habit that the Jacobite monks in France wear. I believe that the Jacobin cuckoo has never, ever flown over the church of the Jacobites, which is in Toulouse in France. In Indian folklore, this bird is described as having the magical ability to summon the monsoon. So the monsoon is the rainy season, and it's very important for the subcontinent because primarily we are a very rural agricultural economy. And the summer is really long, and it's hot and dry, and it leaves the landscape completely parched. So this bird, it travels from East Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, crosses the Arabian Sea, and goes to India. And its arrival in India is very accurately timed with the arrival of the monsoon. As soon as this bird arrives, the cool monsoon breeze follows. This bird does not have a permanent home, and it lives between the two continents. But its arrival brings a sense of longing and an anticipation for the earth to start getting cooler. In Hindi, this bird is called chatak, which is also written on the envelope. This means, it translates to the one that lives on drops of rain. So there's a very beautiful myth, and the myth is that this bird does not drink water from anywhere else, but it only drinks water falling from the sky directly into its mouth. So it is said that when it gets thirsty, it looks on the sky, calls for the clouds, and it starts raining. I would like to request you now to please close your eyes and keep them closed until I tell you to open them. Let's take a moment to arrive where we are now. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's repeat this one more time. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Take a moment to think about the speed at which you traveled here today. Did you walk here, or drive a car, or come on a bike? Maybe you took a plane, or you took a tram. Did you feel cold wind on your face at any point in this journey? Rest your feet firmly on the ground. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Now, if you smell the fabric that is stuck on the envelope, you will get a sense of how the grass smells in the monsoon. When finally it gets rain and moisture after months of severe heat and dryness. Imagine this bird opening its beak to the sky, waiting for it to rain. With your eyes closed, turn your head upwards to face the sky. Open your mouth and inhale through your mouth. Feel the cool air on your tongue. Have you ever drank rainwater falling from the sky? Or perhaps tried to catch snowflakes on your tongue on the first snowfall of the season? Now bring your head back down. Keep your eyes closed and open the envelope. You will find an object inside it. Take it out and explore its shape. You can pull it a little bit with both hands. On this object, you will find a small circular opening. Maybe you have already guessed what this object is, but don't look just yet. Now bring that opening to your mouth and fill it with air. This is going to be hard to fill air into the balloon with your eyes closed, but let's do it. Let's put more air into the balloon and make it bigger. Just a little bit more, and we make it slightly bigger. Now we will not tie the balloon. We will only hold the opening securely. And let's bring both hands to feel the size of the balloon. Imagine the color that you would like this balloon to have. Visualize how radiant it looks in the light that is present over here. If you shake the balloon, you can hear the sound of thunder and rain falling on the roof. Keep your eyes closed and hold the balloon securely in one hand. Raise the hand with the balloon up above your head. Stretch this hand as much as possible while you sit firmly on your chair. Now turn your head up towards the sky once again. This time, open your eyes. When I say release, we will all release the balloons together. 3, 2, 1, release. So this is a glimpse into my practice, which is multisensory. You can put your hand down, please. And I like to create these moments, which are reset buttons, and through this bring attention to themes of local and global ecology, post-colonial narratives, and these sort of peripheral viewpoints. This work, especially, was developed at a residency that was provided by Novasit, the organization that is doing this symposium. And this residency took place in Norway, in a very remote village up north called Surnadal Sora, which is even 2 hours away from Trondheim, north of Trondheim. And over there, we were just working and looking at seagulls all the time because it was the summer. And that's how we got to talking about different kinds of birds and what they do. Thank you so much.
Thank you for amazing contribution. I'm just thinking to myself, I would love to see my mates from my village, from Stoklaska, dress in this. What they would think about us when we were here and holding the balloons, and what would they think about the whole situation. I think it's very interesting task to imagine, but I just wanted to add it. Before, I will invite Tereza Kahounová. She is creative producer and musician. Tereza studies architecture in Prague and has been involved in several culture projects, including Festival Lásky plno, Days of Architecture, Pěstuj prostor, and film. I'm not looking at you, but I'm pretending that I know what am I doing. Of architecture, Pěstuj prostor, and film architecture. She's experienced in intercultural exchanges and works across music, visual arts, and writing. Is that right? Yeah? Great. Do you need my help? I will move you the microphone. Yeah. Work in progress, as you probably understood by now. The keyboard is new, by the way, so.
It's not really new, just my,
exactly.
my friend borrowed me.
Yeah.
But Okay, I think it's okay.
Yeah,
Thank
is it
you
okay?
for having.
Teresa Kahunova.
Okay, thank you, all of you. First, I didn't want to talk a lot because I just want to play something. But since everyone is talking, I decided to talk as well. So it's gonna be like really random thing. It's true that I contribute on some or several art projects, or more like I want to produce or help with the organization of the events. One time, it was like 3 years ago when I started, and even though I'm not like really from the countryside, I am not from the like capital as well, and I think it's quite a problem when I see the culture in like city I'm from. It's Plzeň. It's like quite big city, as I already told you, but I feel like on the events just all the same people going, and the people who are not interested are just not gonna be interested. Like I think they're never gonna be interested, and I don't know if it's a problem or not. Maybe it's not just like a huge problem. But I believe in Prague, there are so many things happening, and it's like more overwhelming for me, I think. Because if you want to do something, you can do it, but like 10 other people are doing the same things or different things. But and I think it's beautiful, but on the other point, it's like stressful and overwhelming, as I told you. But I think it's just like a circle, because the art projects are going to the capital cities or to the big cities, and the cities who aren't that big, just like the art people or art projects are just disappearing. For example, we are doing like studio project with the architecture thing in Most, which is like quite. I just don't know. People from Czech Republic make, I think, fun of that city a bit. Most, I don't know if you know it, and then you can see that the young people are already disappearing. So it's just, I think, a circle. But I want to share some of my song as well. So I'm gonna try it, but it's in Czech, so I believe all of you not gonna understand. It's a song about like a place, I think, and about the connection, because like it's a song about the city I'm from. I live in the edge of the city, so it's like really old house, and it used to be like a village, but right now it's part of the city. But sometimes I wish it would be more like a village, like yeah. Doma klid, ticho, tlustý šestátkový stěny. Nechce se mi teď nic, válím se na zem. Něco se za ten čas muselo změnit, ale když vracím se z Prahy, všecko zoufale stejný. V všech starých albách jsme ještě děti, o pořádek let víc svět mě furt drtí. V těch šedivých zdech občas zahlédnu barvy, potom nemůžu se z nich vymanit, vysvět. Tak radši palem vážky, žalost se točí, slyším jen syrový ticho, samotu zručení řeky. Všecko, co hlavou běží, teď na chvíli zasne se mnou ticho před bouří. Na ty nový závislosti dám si pěcík, budu je chtít všechny na jeden potah vykouřit. Na ty nový závislosti dám si pěcík, myslím, že nepomáhá, já teď nic nechci. Na louce za domem rostou kopratiny, jsou stejně jako já, už trochu popletený. A tak drtím je v dlaních a hážu do řeky. Měl jsi mě rád, neměl jsi, občas říkám si, že měla jsem ti uši, když rozsypalo se ti po tváři paproušklivý květi, ale teď je zastáno pryč do Prahy. Doufaj, že přes ty stavy zas uslyším. It's like continue, but I think that time is timing.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution, for your courage, for your drive, which is very important. Thank you very much. We will give you the keyboards afterwards. Yes, so thank you very much. And yeah, it's a question like, are the people they are not gonna come? Never? I'm not sure, because I wasn't giving fuck after the point I started to giving fuck about the theater, you know? It was at the moment I saw the right one, and then it kind of like happened. So you never know when the people will come and why they will start coming back. So anyway, now I would love to ask Jessica to come to join me on the stage. Jessica is right here. It was kind of like funny because I ask every single contributor, can you please pronounce your name so I can say it on the stage? And I asked Jessica, and he told me Jessica, but I don't know the last name. So Jessica, can you please say your last name?
Rincon.
Rincon, okay. Sorry, anyway, Jessica is artist from Colombia. She's based in Prague. She combines puppetry, storytelling, and community building, co-creating plays on migrant stories and facilitating workshops for children. She currently develops the initiative Kindness Exchange Box in Žižkov. Now it's yours.
So thank you for... it's really one of my scary monsters to speak in public, so that's good because we are in the spooky season, and also because that is going to help me with what I want to tell you, and it's how I'm seeing you all now at the moment as my cousins, and this is kind of like the living room, and it's the way that I've been trying to see the world lately, probably in the last couple of years, and what has led me to this. You're kind of part of my experiment and been looking at ways to how can we connect, how can we start seeing each other as what we are. All the people that I have seen here and in general are just proving what I already know and feel, and that what I know that you also know is how we are creative people, we are amazing beings, we have all this potential, and we keep being told that we have all these traits, or that the world is this terrible place, and we do see it, but if we put our focus in all the good things that we have, I think that it would be amazing. So what I wanted to ask you, and then I'll tell you a bit more about the story, is to tell your own story. I brought this box. It broke, which is great because it's part of all things go bad at the end, and it's quite improvised. But if you have any memory, or if you want to write a little note about today, your own memory, your own story, it could be a wrapping of paper of some sweet or something that you ate today, but that is going to bring you back to what this experience have been. And I think it's often that we have that we are talking about the stories of rural communities, of that other communities, but maybe we are not like letting them tell their own story. So I'm going to leave this box here somewhere, and yeah, it would be great if you put anything that, a little drawing, just like a little legacy of what this experience has been to you, and it's what I'm trying to do as well. I've been trying everything. I probably will and aim to become the eccentric person in my neighborhood that is trying to talk about kindness and about how we can connect. I barely speak Czech. My Czech is Potraviny Czech. Potraviny is like this convenience store, so I can pretty well go and order some or buy things. But there's like these things that connect us. So I'm trying to find that, and like that's what I say, that this is part of my little question of how to find it. How can we connect? How can we not just bring art, but exchange? How can we yes, support these communities, build these communities. I'm trying to build a community from scratch, and I feel like I'm a mad scientist just coming up with ways, writing love songs for Shishkov Tower. I don't know if you know Shishkov Tower. They say it's the second ugliest building in the world, but to me it's beautiful. So anything, I have been to the Ustinat-Laven region and almost get lost, got a fine in the public transport because I didn't know how to figure it out, but all in the search of listening to people, knowing what it is there. Like I said, there was a language barrier, but I think that it's about finding these ways and finding the way of connect with each other, of losing that sense of being afraid. And yes, I'm nervous of being here, but at the same time, I know that you can understand what it means to be nervous because we are all in this human experience, and that helps me to see that there are more things that we can do and to look for those ways. And to know that I'm not alone in this journey. Okay, I'm starting from scratch, but I'm willing to try. And just in the last year, it's been leading me step by step to find more ways, to see more options. And like I said, one is this small box that I just improvise in, but that I hope that it's filled with memories, it's filled with stories, with something that is going to represent you, and that we can then look further, more than an official document, but just what it meant in a human level to be here, and what you shared, who you connected with, what made you laugh. I think that those are the things that if we keep as sacred as they are, and we bring and continue sharing with each other, are going to keep us not just surviving, but thriving. So I saw my timer, but...
Yeah,
so,
thank you,
but
thank
yes,
you.
I will do so.
There's the box. You can leave it here on the beginning of the stage. Is that all right? And there are some papers, or take your own papers and put it in the box. It's very important, believe me. And thank you for your contribution. And I think we are getting to the end of open mic, and we will also close the whole conference by the last contribution. We are supposed to have Laszlo Galosh and Marta Lajansky. We have only Laszlo. All right, so I would love to ask Laszlo to come on the stage. Laszlo explores the relationship between subjective and objective reality through photography and video, performing internationally since 2018. And their performance Jeremite, is a cultural political commentary on censorship and self-censorship in Hungary. I'm going to also help him, and it is going to be a little bit longer than the rest of the contributions, and then we will finish this night. So Laszlo, where you are. See, where is Laszlo?
Siri, record me. Siri. 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 Siri, record me. Because now it's really time to grasp that certain wholeness, the eternity, and to answer to those certain questions. Yes, the ones that have always been there, about being, non-being, purpose, and emptiness. And if I die before I answer them, well, they will be always there. But until or rather, if there are no answers, at least something should finally be said about whether the questions are good at all, and whether we are addressing those questions in the right place. Do we really need to question the universe, or God, or the unnameable? We could write a good little drama out of this. Or even, since so many good little and big dramas have already been written about this, perhaps it would be enough to perform the existing ones well. Well, that is in a way that is flesh and blood and life affirming, one could say, cathartically. Anyway, I'm not going to do any of this. I'm neither a playwright nor an actor. So excuse me for this little ramble. It's possible that there is some deeper meaning to this little sketch, but if I'm being very honest, it's just really a framework that makes it easier for me to stand here naked in front of you and talk about, even if I can't, at least without my papers, and especially in English, because there are artists who are not speaking English, just by the way. So I want to talk about what independent art means and why it's important. And I want to be very honest, because that's what it is primarily about. And about not choosing the easy path, but the one that's worth taking. About the fact that there is an option not to do something just for profit, but rather because we believe there are things, there are matters that need to be talked about. Or if we can't talk about them, at least show what we don't have words for it. To show even what is beautiful, of course, but primarily to show what is real, what is true, whatever it is. In fact, the uglier, the more offensive, the more destructive it is, the more important it is to acknowledge it. Because without that, it will just rot further, swell up, and eventually everything will be flooded with that filthy torrent of things that we did nothing about while we could. You don't have to resort to drastic measures to this. There are 1,001 ways to abstract things. You don't necessarily need to undress, bleed, urinate, and then write on the dirt on the stage. But you must not avoid any of these or any other tool just because some people don't like it. Being an independent artist means that I decide for myself what, why, and how I create. And beyond my own ego, independent art is important because it's not certain that it's good for you if your taste is simply catered to. It's cliché after cliché, I know. That's the only way I can express myself verbally. That's why I choose other forms of expressing what I consider important in a meaningful way. But we are slowly getting to the point where we shouldn't stay silent, at least in Hungary, in the countryside of Europe. Not because of aesthetics, art theory, or quality issues, but because of political, ideological expectations, and often because of the perceived or real pressure to conform to these. And that's why it is important to speak sometimes, even if it's imperfectly, and to speak about the facts, the stuck in reality, instead of the comfortable, safe framework of fiction. And actually, the facts in these days are impersonating, controversial, and messaging to each other. So that's why I asked Jiří to impersonate some people from Hungary, from the cultural workers, who have sent me some letters. You can stay in clothes, it will be better maybe. You don't need to compliment me, just...
Should I start? Hello, Latsi. A new gallery is opening here in town, and I was asked to be the first exhibitor. I thought that not many people go to exhibitions in our area, and moreover, no one knows this place. So I would organize an event every 2 or 3 days that they could come to. I would invite a few of my friends to do a reading, a concert, a performance of whatever they can think of. Would you like to perform something?
Well, sure, thanks. That will be great. We are working on something with Sziporka Vandal anyway. It fits perfectly to your word. I think we can even use some of your exhibited pictures. We will finish it in a few days anyway. When should we go?
Sziporka, who was invited to independent festivals in about 10 countries last year, and you also performed with her in Rotterdam, right? Well, so the thing is, this will be a municipal gallery. And well, so when I told them my idea, they were very enthusiastic, because it's great when people come from other cities, and especially artists who are recognized abroad, they support it especially. But only if there aren't any destructive ones among them. So I got a list of who I can't invite, and Sziporka is on it.
Never mind, there is other options.
Dear L1 Association, we are pleased to inform you that our Hungarian Culture Institute is supporting the participation of 3 artists representing our country at the L1 Dance Fest this year. As part of this, we will cover their accommodation and travel expenses.
Yes, wonderful. This is a great help. We agreed with the dancer in Marta's piece that the performance would start with Marta asking the audience if they wanted the performers to perform the performance naked. The only stipulation would be that if they did, the audience would have to be naked too, and the joint decision about this would have to be made there and then. It is clear then there will be at least one person who is not open to such a thing, but the whole situation is very interesting, so we will try and ask, and if the audience said, we will do this performance naked.
Dear Marta, if you do the performance naked, we will have to withdraw support, not only for the performer in the piece, but also for the other 2 guest artists performing at the festival, regardless of the fact that they aren't participating in the nude production. Unfortunately, we cannot allow ourselves to be exposed to attack intense political situation between our country and Hungary. We will also inform the director of the theater hosting the festival.
Okay, tell it to the director, then what?
Dear L1 Association, I regret to inform you that if one of the sponsors of your festival backs out of the performance, the theater I run will not be able to host the event either. Best regards.
Okay, at least I have some friends in the country, in the rural.
Hi, Latsi. We were taking inventory here at the City Gallery, and it occurred to us that we already have nearly 100 of your pictures. It would be worth making an exhibition out of them. Actually, I already have that in my mind. It would be kind of a curatorial selection from the parts of your series Collodion Archive that we have in if you are in it. You wouldn't have much to do with it if you left it to me. Just maybe do something for the opening.
Wow, that's fantastic, thank you. I don't really have to think about it much, since Fanny and I already did a performance for a previous exhibition of the Collodion Archive. If I remember correctly, you saw it. This is when she reacts to my projected images and tears of all kinds of clothes, criticizing the different roles of women in society. I will take it, this performance, abducted, of course.
Oh, I saw it, yes, it was very good, but we are a city-run institution, and the new major is interested in the art. He came here to gallery once, and he saw an impressionist nude from the early 20th century in the permanent exhibition. He took it down because it is immoral. Fortunately, he didn't force us to throw it away. We just put it in storage. But I don't think he would like to your performance. I don't want any trouble. Let's leave it at that. Maybe I'll ask Miloš to play the guitar at the opening. Okay.
Okay, Miloš wasn't play the guitar in my opening.
Hi, Latsi. Last fall, we talked about having an exhibition with us. You said you would do some stronger performance for the opening. How do you feel about that? Could you send me a rider?
Sure, it's ready, and we've already show it in Serbia, so it's tested. I send you the rider.
There would be nothing wrong with that. I've also organized performance festival myself, but the building we operate in is an educational institution. According to the new interpretation of the new law, even though it is a university, it can't show or install 18+ things. I'm committed, but this is a sensitive situation right now. Let's come up with something else. I ask, I run out of strength.
And I ran out of time, but this is go just on and on. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Yeah, so as we are kind of like getting to the end of our night and our conference, I am very happy that you came. I'm very happy that you stayed here with us. Thank you, Laszlo, and thank all the other contributors over here. Thank Novasi, did I also say it? Thank Marie Kishlovsky for the music. And I think we can close the first day of this conference. We can also add some lights and we can close this evening and you can enjoy the rest of it. Please don't leave yet. Maybe we can open the doors. You can slowly leave, but you can also enjoy yourself because all the time we were doing the open mic, we were building up the song and it's coming right now. And that's it. Thank you for contributing and coming.
Can we play in your town? Can we play in your village? We'll call